Are we on?
Yep.
Okay. We call the meeting in order of the Public Service Committee meeting of the Gardner City Council for September 15th, 2022 at 4 p.m. All members of the committee are present. Is anybody recording the meeting other than staff? Not, then we'll proceed with department updates. Dane Arnold is not present, he's away on vacation, so we'll pass on to survey engineering with Rob Oliver, the city engineer. Anything for us, Rob?
I don't have much to do. Since our last meeting, Town Rotary, I've reached out to appraisers for quotes on appraisals for both the appraisal of the property and review of the appraisals. You need 2 appraisers on a Mass DOT project for every appraisal. So I'm starting to get some costs back in for that. I think more on Mr. Arnold's side of the items up today, probably more important is the ongoing work, paving work out in the Robillard Street area. Robillard, Draper, Douglas, Foss, all those roads. If you've been by, it's quite a project. The road's being pulverized, sidewalks have been removed. So they're out there pulverizing. Friday, our contractor plans on starting the paving behind the...
Friday tomorrow?
Yep, so yeah, well, it's already Friday. So yeah, tomorrow they'll be paving. They're still pulverizing, but they're at a point where they can begin to pave. The roads have been graded, so that's moving along quite nicely, fairly quickly. So that's continuing on at least through next week, I believe. And then there's some other paving projects, fall paving projects that Mr. Arnold has lined up. Outside of that, I don't really have anything new for you since last time.
The appraisals you were talking about for the Rotary, that's the Uptown Rotary?
Yep.
Yeah. Do we have agreements for whatever needs to be acquired?
I have 8 properties that need appraisals that I haven't received the donation back from. So a whole package with certificate of donation form, federal guidelines on what's going on, a letter describing what was going on. That went to all the property owners. I think I have 5 properties that have donated easements for the project, and then the ones that I didn't hear back from, or they didn't want to donate, those appraisals will be completed.
These just easements for construction easements?
There's one taking, which is a very small easement, and then the others are just temporary easements, which is a shame we have to do the appraisals on, but that's just how it goes. And
it's a TIF project, isn't it?
yeah. So I think the appraisal's probably worth more than the easement, so which is unfortunate, but we have to do it.
And that's on us. That's not part of the TIF, right?
Yep, that's on us.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Conservation Commission, Trevor, anything update?
Don't really have a whole lot. We do have a new conservation planning agent.
Oh, good.
And her name is Sophie Donrow, and from Ashburnham. She hopefully will be starting at the beginning of October. I haven't got a set date yet, but because I know she was just notified yesterday that everything went well with all of her hiring process. And, so she's definitely accepted. She just needs to now notify her current employer, which is in the neighbor.
Okay. And she's got some background or experience in the position?
Yeah, she has a lot of environmental experience. She has a master's degree. She's young, so she'll have a lot to learn. But it's our department work as a team, and we had this conversation during the interview. Lindsay's been there before. We're all willing to help her out and get up to speed. And same thing with the Conservation Commission. There were 2 members involved with the interview, and they felt the same way. She's qualified, and she'll be able to catch on very quickly, and with their assistance also. Yeah, but I only got 1 application. She was the only applicant we received.
Yeah.
And thank goodness it worked out.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah. Anything new with the sludge landfill?
They did not take it up at the last meeting. They do need to take it up again and vote on the scope of service that they need to undertake.
Okay.
The engineer needs to undertake.
And they're scheduled to meet when?
26th, I believe, is the next meeting. It's the 4th Monday.
Monday of the month.
Yeah. So 2nd and 4th.
Okay. Anything else?
No, there was a open meeting law complaint that was filed on the second meeting in August by Paul DeMayo. The commission met on it and discussed it at the last meeting this month, and sent a response to Mr. DeMayo
Mhm.
and in the AGO's office.
Okay, see if they request, so you'll just need to see if they request further
Correct.
proceedings.
Yeah, they won't respond on the complaint for 30 days, so it'll be sometime, I think, late September that they'll actually respond or get back to Mr. DeMayo to see if he has any more issues, if he's satisfied with the
Response.
response.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, we've dealt with some open meeting matters at the council as well.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
Okay. And then, proceeding, anything on your end with the sludge landfill?
No, the next step will be filing with Massachusetts MEPA for their environmental unit. They'll review it. That's part of any project of that type. That's a real thorough environmental review the state conducts. It's separate from DEP. It's a own branch of the state government. That will be filing shortly. We were hoping to have conservation.
On board?
Yeah, but just timing wise, we instructed our engineers to get working on that submittal and get it in.
Mhm.
So that's coming up. Outside of that, once that's done, DEP waits for them to conclude their review and issue comments and seek public comments. So that all comes after the MEPA process. The MEPA process will involve, they call it a scoping session. They meet on site, they'll want to walk it, ask questions, give their thoughts. I believe generally the public is welcome at that. So I don't know if they advertise it or we do, but that's all part of their process. So that'll be coming up later on once it's been filed and they schedule that. If you're interested in attending, we can always let you know and we'll keep you up to date on that.
Thank you. Any other questions on the reports from Rob or Trevor?
Not for mine. Nothing for me, no.
No? Okay. Okay, moving on, the poll petition, Keys Road, continuing.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us an update?
So what had happened, when the petition originally came in, of course, it included National Grid's plan. I reviewed it. I think I had a comment or two, which were fairly benign. Then during the process, they submitted a plan by Tyne Bond, which was associated with the Keys Road culvert replacement. I mistakenly took that as superseding the original poll petition plan, which wasn't the case. The representatives from National Grid had actually been in contact with Tyne Bond. They had worked through Tyne Bond's original layout for phasing the poles and what the final pole locations would be. National Grid made recommendations, which is what, in the end, Tyne Bond and National Grid agreed upon, which was the poll petition. So the poll petition actually superseded the Tyne Bond plan. I had it the other way around.
Yeah.
So what I had originally submitted to you as my comments still stand. I have no real issues. So we had a little lapse of miscommunication in between with National Grid on my part. So I think I'm good with it, and I think you as a committee can move forward.
Ironically, at least to me, the Tyne Bond plans were submitted in response to questions that were raised during a council meeting following the public hearing.
Right.
So they were,
So
and there was no indication when they submitted those that they were used as a preliminary basis to formulate the final plan.
yeah, and again, that's why
I
took
mean,
it
it's
as-
understandable that you think otherwise.
Yeah. So, but we got through it, and I now understand what's going on.
My only question about the final plan is, are there any overhead wires that pass over a public way that didn't before?
I don't believe so now.
No, okay, that's the only question I have. Any other questions on that topic?
No.
Then I entertain a motion to recommend approval of the petition.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Motion made and seconded, no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. So, next item is council request, anything from
Any update with those poles on West Broadway over Ben's? Did you ever able to check those out at all?
I actually did submit to National Grid. There was one in particular that was real bad.
Yeah.
I reached out to National Grid and they were gonna put a work order in for it.
Okay. And,
So they were checking them out.
sure, that was, I don't know what the placement of it in dealing with the sidewalk, snow blower, lack of a term, what's it's gonna do, because that's a narrow, but I don't know if that can be worked out for, maybe we get through there too in the winter.
Yeah, that's the spot where the one particularly bad pole is. I don't know even know if the snow blower, if the snow machine can fit through there, so I don't know what we'll do there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it does.
Okay.
I don't know if it does because the pole's smaller.
Yeah, it's that much left, I think.
Yeah, so, something to think about, I guess, when they come back. But, and then the intersection, the crosswalk lights at the Timpani West Broadway, were those looked at or not?
I did not reach out to anyone. That would have to be, I mean, the state did that work. I guess I can try and track down who the contractor was on that project, so I don't recall who it was.
Which one's that?
Timpani and West Broadway, the crosswalk lights just don't seem to be functioning.
Oh, we're talking, okay, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. I'm thinking the flashing beacons.
Oh, the one that constantly flashes
Yeah.
over by Hannaford?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's.
I'm in the wrong place. I think we asked Daryl Sweeney to take a look at those. Because the lights, all those are under his purview. So if not, I'll double check with him
You
and
just let me know what
Yep.
the status is, I can update the resident.
sure.
All right, thank you.
I think, and hopefully my voice holds out for this, I was thinking, would it be possible if it already exists, or to make one, a process flow of the sludge landfill, the different reviews and boards that it would have to go through? So people can understand, you know, multiple organizations are looking at this.
We actually have a graphic that I know made its way out. I can send that to you guys. It may explain a little bit more. Our engineer provided it to us. They prepared it. It's really insightful. I don't know if it goes into so much the process of getting the permit, other than describing the project. So either way, I can get you that, because it's good to have, and we can write something up on, the permit process.
I was thinking on project page that we
Yep.
have might be perfect for it.
Yeah, we had put it up initially, and then there were questions. The group that's actively, following, commenting on the project, we're actually going to our surrounding communities and drumming up, I would call it misinformation, on the project to generate some pushback from surrounding communities. We kind of squashed that by providing this pamphlet and graphic, because it explains everything greatly. It's really good. So you should have it anyway. It's good to have. So I'll get you that, and we'll get you kind of a flow, maybe a timeline, although the timeline's not real accurate at this point.
My impression, just listening and reading to about those who are following it along, as you call it, is that they're not interested so much in ensuring that it follows all the rules and meets all the requirements as they are as opposing it and looking for an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to keep that in mind, because we've already decided that this is the route we're taking.
Yeah, and the technology is ever-changing, and there's actually, I'm not placing a lot of credence in it just yet, but there is something we're looking at, which could, if it works the way the manufacturer claims, would eliminate the need for our sludge landfill.
Well, sure, I mean, if there's something new that we haven't had the opportunity to look
Right.
at.
We still need the landfill, and we need to expand it because we're running out of time with the existing landfill. And we don't want to be in a position where we're waiting on something and now we're trucking it out of town, because that's cost prohibitive.
So, but the longer view is,
The longer view, I guess someday there will be a technology. I don't know when, I don't know, so we need the landfill. So we're pushing forward with that. There's no question we need it. If in 10 years we don't need it anymore, then so be it. But the technology's not just there yet.
yeah,
But we're always watching. I mean, because we agree if there's a better technology,
sure.
we We could save money, we could, you know, the way this particular technology is pushed is that it can actually generate revenue. So Veolia, our contractor, actually was contacted by this manufacturer and passed it along. So we're gonna follow up on that and see where that leads us.
Sure.
But
But it's not gonna fill the shorter term gap.
no, no, in fact, this particular manufacturer has a technology there's one installation in the US. So it would have to be piloted with the state, the DEP, and it could be, you know, years and years and years off if we started today.
If it made sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's been my view for years that one way or the other, we generate it, we need to deal with it. Yeah. Anyway, anything else,
Thank you.
George?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, I have nothing further, and that completes our agenda. Is there any new business?
Move to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn passes unanimously. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Meeting stands adjourned.